Recorded Books presents Vantage Point by Scott Thornley. Narrated by Richard Poe. A quote from Langston Hughes' Final Curve. When you turn the corner and you run into yourself, then you know that you have turned all the corners that are left. Prologue. Father Howard Terry was just beginning to nod off when a rapid burst of amber shards raced along the living room ceiling and slashed across the bookcase. Irritated, he closed his dog-eared copy of King Solomon's Mines and waited for it to stop. A minute later, he heard the heavy thump of a truck door closing, followed by footsteps on the stairs and 3 sharp raps of the door knocker. He placed the book on a side table and checked his watch. 9:48 p.m., an odd time to be making calls. His body was tucked deep into the armchair, and Terry struggled to hoist himself to his feet. He walked on stiff legs to the door. His son called from upstairs. "You got that, Dad?" Looking through the beveled glass of the window, Terry saw the reflective X glowing brightly on the back of a man in an orange traffic vest. Splinters of light ricocheted off the side of his hard hat. Hearing the clunk of a deadbolt, the man swung around and peered through yellow-tinted wraparound safety glasses. Howard Terry opened the door. "Can I help you, young man?" "Dundurn Hydro, sir. Is this—" He paused, withdrawing a notebook from his side pocket. "The Matthew Terry residence?" His son, halfway down the stairs, called out, "I'm Matthew Terry. This is my dad, Father Terry. Is there a problem?" The man informed them that power surges were being experienced in the area because of the recent rainfall. If it was okay with them, he was there to check their electrical panel. The Duke Street relay station was indicating that their house was the source of the surges. "At best, sir, it's a reset. Worst, we'll have to replace your meter." He hoisted a large orange nylon bag over his shoulder and picked up a metal toolbox before stepping inside. Father Terry closed the door behind him and, out of habit, turned the latch. "Looks like serious work, son." Stepping past him, the man said, "This stuff? Nah, it's all for show." He sat down on the bench near the door, opened the bag, and retrieved 2 clear plastic bags. He put them over his boots before standing again. "Don't want to mess up your floor." Father Terry appreciated the care he was taking. "You're working overtime, then?" "No, just my shift." "Can I offer you coffee or tea, perhaps, when you're finished?" Matthew Terry was impatient and didn't mind showing it. "Dad, he's probably got a lot—" The man interrupted him. "You're right. I do have a lot to do, but I'd be grateful for a coffee." He picked up his gear and followed Matthew to the basement door. Looking back, he added, "Black, with a spoonful of sugar." He smiled at the old man and disappeared down the stairs. Father Terry went through to the kitchen and turned on the coffee maker and then the kettle for tea. He took 3 cups from the cupboard, though he was certain his son would decline. Matthew never had empathy for those he referred to sneeringly as common people. He'd likely excuse himself the moment they emerged from the basement. As the coffee brewed, Terry wondered what had made his son such a bitter man. He smiled sadly at his own gray reflection in the window above the sink, certain that he was staring at the reason. How it had happened, and when, was lost on him. Matthew had seemed a sour soul from the beginning. He shared his mother's temperament, along with her assessment that his father was a weakling and a failure. Terry found that hard to dispute. He dropped a chamomile tea bag into his mug and reached for the kettle. Suddenly, the kitchen went dark. Moments later, Terry heard 2 muffled pops from the basement. Faulty fuses, he guessed. Apart from the strobe effect of intermittent orange shards, Terry was in total darkness. He turned to feel his way to the door and was halfway there, hands outstretched, when the power was restored and light once again filled the kitchen. Chapter 1. "Do you know why you're here?" MacNeice smiled and took a deep breath. The sheer
Sample complete. Ready to continue?